Quarterfinal number 4 in the compound men's individual tournament here, and for the neutrals, perhaps the one that everyone was looking forward to. Led out by the world number 1, Mr. Perfect. There's his wife in the crowd. It's Mike Schloesser from the Netherlands, a 29-year-old, going up against the Dane, one of the most popular archers on the circuit, Martin Damsbo.
As we get ready to welcome them on the official shooting line. On target number 1, representing Denmark.
Auf Scheibe Nummer 1 für Dänemark,
Martin Damsbo. On target number 2, representing the Netherlands.
auf Scheibe Nummer 2 für die Niederlande,
Mike Schloesser. The line judge for this matchup is
der Kampfrichter für dieses Match ist
Woo Tsungi.
So much to talk about, so much to cram in here before they get going. Mike Schloesser, Mr. Perfect, world number 1, making his 11th appearance at the World Championships. Won gold 10 years ago in 2013. As I say, Martin Damsbo, the world number 40, is one of the most popular archers on the circuit. 61 World Cup caps, perhaps the most of all the archers in the field at the moment, competing at his 13th World Championships. Every one of the winners from the 3 previous quarterfinals has shot on target number 2, and that is where the world number 1 is beginning this quarterfinal.
10. 10.
Yeah, and I find this a very cool lineup for a quarterfinal lineup. Being like a, so let's say I'm a neutral viewer for a second. This is pretty much a dream lineup for anybody who has been watching archery for over a decade, like me. When I was not internationally active just yet, I was already watching videos on archery TV of Martin Damsbo shooting, and I was shooting competitions together with Mike. And well, this is just like for the archery nerd. I think this is a very cool match to watch.
9.
It's a cool match to watch, whether you're a nerd or not. 29 for Damsbo, dropping a single point on the last arrow. But yeah, I get these two have been around for a while. They were there at the beginning and now the end of your competitive career. They've met what, 8 times in the past? I think Mikey has a 6-2 lead over Martin.
Something like that, yeah. So statistically speaking, this match is in Mike's favor, but you cannot.
Well, he's on target number 2. Everyone wins on target number 2.
Well, besides that, it's also you cannot really negate the fact that Martin Damsbo is probably the most experienced archer on the field right now. Meaning he has done over 60 World Cup stages. This is his 12th or 13th chip, so it's has ridiculous numbers when it comes to appearances, and he has had some success as well. Take, for instance, the 2013 World Cup final in Paris that he won, or the I think in 2010 he won an individual World Cup stage.
Yeah, 2 bronze medals at the World Championships, 2007, 2002.
That too, is it 2007? That's that was also in Germany, by the way. So
Leipzig.
It might be that it's a good venue for him here.
The omen bodes well. At the moment, the scoreline is in favour of Mr. Perfect, Mikey Schloesser. We start the second end with Martin Damsbo from Denmark.
10.
Before you were saying maybe start counting at 5 if it makes your athlete nervous, but the Martin Damsbo is also being counted down from 10. So it might also just be knowing how much time you have left that comforts the archer rather than.
Again, it's that thing of what works for one archer might not work for another, and it felt earlier on when I was talking about that countdown, seemed to make one of the archers pretty twitchy.
Yeah, Becerra. And this is going to be interesting because if Martin Damsbo can stay close to Mike, if he can stay within that 1 or 2 point gap or deficit. Ooh, that's close, but I think it's in. We all know that Mikey can shoot perfect scores, and he sometimes does it with ease. But we also have seen, if you stay close to him score-wise, he might have a bit of a slip-up at the end of the match. So staying close to him is adamant to winning the match.
I can't even remember how many times I've seen Mike Schloesser shoot up to 140. He's on for a perfect, and he puts it in the 7 or the 9 or the. It doesn't always land in the 10.
Yeah, and I think that shows how difficult it can be to, be Mr. Perfect and be the number 1 in the world for a very long time. And I think the pressure eventually will get to you. To be fair, we see it with Sarah Lopez as well. She isn't as untouchable as she used to be. And I think that's partially because you cannot be on top for that long. And we see it in other sports as well, right? Like in tennis, it used to be Federer all the way, and then Djokovic came and took that spot. So it's everybody has or all of the
moment in the sun.
Yeah, exactly. And then what I think is impressive and continues to impress me is that Mike has won this World Championships in 2013 for the first time, and ever since then has been a fixed. You just know he's going to be there
at the business end.
Yeah,
for sure. It's a very interesting thought. One thing that we haven't said for a while is why Mikey Schloesser is called Mr. Perfect.
So he got the nickname because not because he shoots perfect scores in final rounds, but he was the first person, and I think one of 3 people maybe in the world by now, that has actually cleaned the indoor round. So he shot 600 out of 600 points on an indoor round in a qualification.
In number 3, Damsbo going wide right into the 9, and he's looking to hunt down Mr. Perfect.
Bit of a long hold, but I think Mikey is physically strong enough to kind of get away with a bit of a longer hold. Bart is actually shooting really well. He just has those 2 minor slip-ups. Yeah, we could see a bit of movement there from the camera, but also from Mike. He still manages to put it right on the line. So
we're not hearing he's not quite as vocal as he has been in the past. Usually when he's, he calls the arrow value almost before the arrows left the bow.
Yeah, I think we saw that yesterday in the team round as well for bronze against the Korean team, where he was just the release would go off and he would already say yes or no Mostly yes, because he was just hitting 10s only, but before the arrow had even landed in the target. And I feel like right now he's working more for it. Whereas yesterday in the team, it was kind of
Coming to him.
Yeah, exactly. It was coming to him, and now he has to make the shots work.
So much so yesterday, he actually called an X.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, how can you do that? But he does. He knows as he's released it, he knows where it's going. He knows how well the shot was executed.
Speaking of that team, Sil Pata is actually grabbing his arrows for him as an archer's agent. So he has that confidence in his teammate to make sure everything is okay on the target end of business.
Yeah, important job. The agent going to collect the arrows.
The Clash of the Titans continues, moving into end number 4.
The Clash of the Titans, as the stadium announcer Mark Chavet says, is quite right. So we move on. In number 4, the gap now at 2 points in favour of Mike Schloesser from the Netherlands.
Yeah, Martin really needs to lay down a couple 30s here if he wants to stay close to Mike, I think. Especially into the last end, like we talked about before. We have seen Mike shoot perfect scores, and he can shoot perfect scores. But if you are able to stay close to him scoring-wise until those last couple of arrows, you still have a shot, because if Mike is going to shoot any 9s, it's typically going to be in the last couple of arrows.
I thought we were going to get one there, actually. A little bit of movement.
Yeah, I don't know if the nerves are getting to him, or if it's actually, like, if there's slight winds that are torturing the archers a bit here, but I feel like it's not too bad wind-wise.
10, save.
You may have called it though. It just seems to be moving or rocking a little bit in the wind.
10, save. 9.
He called that one out before it hit the target. So he still has the state of mind to be able to call where the arrow is going. He just doesn't have the confidence to, call them out when they're going well.
Yep, at the moment, but maintains his 2-point lead here, subject of course to judges' confirmation of the scores. At the moment, 119 plays 117. Damsbo here trailing by those 2 points as we wait to enter the 5th and final regulation set.
Wer wird es machen? Es ist Martin Damsbo, der im Moment 2 Ringe zurückliegt. Oder es ist Mike Schloesser, der eben 2 Ringe vorliegt mit einer fast perfekten 119. Wir gehen in die 5. und letzte Passe bei einem tollen Viertelfinale. 2 großartiger Sportler. Auf geht's, Berlin, ihr wisst, was jetzt kommt. Haut doch mal raus, auf geht's, Berlin.
So it's no secret that I would love to see Mike win this match.
Thanks for letting us know.
But
we had no idea.
It's also no secret that we all kind of know that if you are able to stay close to Mike, like, this is a 2-point gap, and I would say it's not impossible to still be in this match, being Martin Damsbo.
Well, he's going to shoot first in this 5th end. I mean, you look at the holes in the target, there's only 3 sitting below the 10 line, or 10 ring. Pretty good shooting from him.
10, save.
doing his job, the Dane. Now, Damsbo can do nothing but shoot a 10 and put the pressure right on. That's what he does to finish with a perfect. A great way to finish his second of the match. Sets a 147 for Schloesser. And Schloesser gets the 9 that he needed for a 148 and a single point win for Mike Schloesser from the Netherlands. Puts him into the semi-finals. You can see the camaraderie between these two athletes. Martin Damsbo put up a show, but in the end, just dropping a few more 9s than his accomplished opponent, Mike Schloesser, who heads on to the semi-finals.
One step beyond, one step up, and find the highest step of the podium. That is the question for this afternoon.
Vor 2 Jahren war er schon im Goldfinale. Jetzt hat er zumindest schon mal das Halbfinale erreicht. Am Ende wurde es dann doch noch mal ein bisschen knapp. Es ist der eine
joins
Unterschied.
Ditale, Shabilski and Kim in the men's semi-finals. So let me just ask you a